Okay.
Yeah.
What's poppin', San Diego? How you feeling, people? I love that the chat is active. It's alive. There's conversations happening. People are making deals, getting advice, yelling at each other. It's good to see you guys. Thanks for hanging up. What's up, Jasmine? What's up, JT? William, Harmon? We see you guys. We see you in the Chris. We see you. Jacob. We see you. Steel Mob. We see you. What's up, Michael? Jacob. UT. JG. Chris. The Metal Show. Braden. Keegan. Leonardo. Jacob.
Open up. Here we go.
Braden GFX. I don't know if I said that already. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't. My bad. Pigeon. What's up, Pigeon? Welcome in. Presty. What's up, Kev? What's up, Michael? What's up, Jared? What's up, Hanif? What's up, Jackson? What's up, Dave? What up, Steve? Or Sam, sorry. Welcome in, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We are doing a 2023 rookie mock draft, and it's that season. I'm curious how many people have either done rookie drafts, like real ones, or if it's all rookie mock drafts at this point. I mean, I know some people would have by now, but our first rookie draft, our first real one, which will be live streamed for you guys, is literally this time tomorrow night. This time tomorrow night in our Alpha League, we will be drafting for real. And I have the 102, so if anyone wants the 102, let me know. I'm willing to move back if you want to secure the quarterback of your choice. I want to stay in the top 6, obviously, but yep. So we got a real draft that will be live streamed tomorrow night. Come and join us, guys, and see how we mess it up somehow. Come join us then. We are doing a rookie mock draft today, so thanks for joining us.
Here's love.
If you are just joining the stream, can you do us a huge favor and go ahead and smash that like button?
You like that?
Just a simple way to support the channel, to help us grow. Every time you hit that like button, you are telling YouTube, hey, these guys are all right. They might say some stupid stuff sometimes, but they're good. Every once in a while, there's a little bit of gold. There's a little bit of nuggets in there, here and there, but they're a good time. They're good hangout. It's a good community. And you're basically saying, hey, other people might like this, and then YouTube spreads it around to other people. So I just want to say thanks for hanging out with us, guys. We are doing a rookie mock draft tonight. And Badake, if people want to join, how could they go about joining?
Link in the description below, fam. That's all you have to do. Go link in the description, link in the chat, join our Discord, go there, go to our DynastyLand tab with the orange footballs and go to content releases, and that's exactly how you can join this mock draft. You can see where I posted this link to this live stream, and you can see where everyone's kind of flame hearting that I guess flame emoting that live stream. That's exactly where and how you can join this mock draft. Once again, Discord, DynastyLand tab with the orange footballs, then go to content releases, and that's exactly where I'll be posting the link. And let's do that right now. You got a spot? Okay, you do have a spot?
Yeah, bro.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, there you go.
Yeah. Well, I want to say before we start, thank you for the love on the video we released last night. That video got a lot of love, and over 10,000 views in 11 hours, which is cool to see. That is our rankings as of today. Badake and I agreed on most things, disagreed on a couple, but it wouldn't be a rankings video if we didn't disagree on something.
Yeah, it just would have been like, this is me, this is you, okay.
Yeah, it would have been like, oh, we're the same person. This is fun. Fantasy is fun. We agree. But go check that out later if you want. Thanks for the love and for the support on that video. It was awesome to see. But why don't we go ahead and get this thing started? 2023 Dynasty Superflex Rookie Mock Draft PPR. It is not tied in premium. Let's get this thing going. Bijan Robinson to the 101, to the Falcons. Yeah, you know, if Bijan lands at like the Bengals, maybe the Bills, I mean, great landing spot. I mean, of course he's still gonna go on. Imagine, like, we don't have to say that anymore. Yeah, I know. Like, all right, what mock draft are we using tonight?
Yeah, you know, I don't know. I mean,
well, it was funny. Was it JT? I can't remember who it was. Someone yesterday or after day 2 of the NFL draft were like, "Can we use a different mock draft now? Like, these landing spots aren't good."
It's like, oh, A-rate's a bit too high. I don't know. I mean, if he gets the top 4 capital, maybe, but oh
Yeah.
man.
Something that I noticed a lot last night, Badake, we were talking about Josh Downs, and, I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen the video, but we won't talk about that. We'll talk in particular about him starting week 1. I'd love to hear the chat's thoughts on this because I would say this. I would put a 60 to 65% chance he starts week 1. I'm not saying that it's
Are you talking about
locked
A-Rich
in.
or Josh Downs?
Anthony Richardson, sorry.
Okay, sorry. I thought you said Josh Downs. Okay.
Yeah, because that's what brought up the conversation around Anthony Richardson starting week 1.
Okay.
So I'm curious what people think. Do you believe that Anthony Richardson will start week 1? How long do you think he won't be on the field? Because a lot of people are claiming that, hey, Josh Downs' outlook looks a lot better because Gardner Minshew is going to be starting. So I'm trying to kind of gauge the room here and see, he was a 4th overall pick. What do you have to lose? I don't know if A-Rich isn't starting week 1. I'm just not sure.
Yeah. I mean, I guess as everyone's which we kind of spoke about already. I think we're seeing a couple people saying what's going to happen. I don't see how, and I said this last time. I think I've said this before. I was like, I don't see another team making the same mistakes that the 49ers did. Well, it's not even the mistake. It's just obviously it was the freak timeline with Trey Lance. I think people are looking at that. I was like, we just need to know right away. We're going to get him day 1. We're going to put him in and see what he can do with a full 17 slate game. I just don't see him sitting personally, not behind Gardner Minshew. I think Gardner Minshew is a good backup if he is injured in some way. Somehow Nick Foles is there as well.
It's really a tough one. I think we'll get clarity in the next couple weeks from the team. They're going to be asked that question. We'll find out.
Yeah,
but,
and I think a lot of people are going to compare that. But, Trey Lance,
I agree.
Didn't come in, weren't ready.
Because you're right. It's a different situation. The 49ers were in the playoffs, and they're, one of the best teams in the NFC, and they had a competent quarterback. No disrespect to Gardner Minshew because he's cool. He looks awesome. He's got the jean shorts or whatever going on, but that's probably not the case. This team probably isn't competing in the AFC. So maybe lower expectations for Anthony Richardson as a passer from day 1, but get him out there and let him have some experience. I would be shocked if he's not the starter by week 3 or 4. I would be shocked at that point.
I would say if he's not the starter week 1, then his second half of the season, week 8 onwards, because I do believe Gardner Minshew probably does win a couple games. And they'll give him a little bit of a leash. If he doesn't start week 1, then I see him starting middle of the season for sure. But I don't think I think week 3, week 4 is too short of a leash for Gardner Minshew. Yeah, I would say.
What's up, Albert? What's up, Olaf? Welcome in, y'all. Welcome in. Okay, so that's the first round.
Yeah, Zay Flowers going
ahead of Johnston. Okay.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, there's arguments there for some people. Zach Charbonnet at the 110. Dalton Kincaid and then Will Levis. I think as the days kind of go by and the hours, I think Charbonnet is going to be a 2nd round pick for me personally. An early, when I say 2nd round pick, 201, right? I think that's the earliest I can probably take him. And I think there's an argument to be said with Dalton Kincaid, Will Levis, and I would even say Devin Achane over Zach Charbonnet. I will take Zach Charbonnet over Devin, but it's just so hard to still gauge. But I don't know if I can take him in at the 110 right now.
I hear you. Yeah, there's a big conversation right now. I was just looking around other communities and seeing how people have been drafting Achane and Zach Charbonnet. There's been a very big not debate, but people have been on 2 different sides pretty heavily. Some people are smashing Achane over Charbonnet. Some people are going Charbonnet. I think you have to follow the draft capital. And I am someone who was getting roasted all offseason for having Devin Achane ranked as high as I did. And now all of a sudden everyone's changed. But even I think that Charbonnet needs to go ahead. He has the better path to, at some point being someone who can handle a large workload. And if you look at A-Chain, his profile doesn't suggest that he himself is not going to share a backfield. So I think A-Chain is well deserving of going right after Charbonnet if you want, but I think Charbonnet needs to be the first one. Better draft capital, better pizza.
Papa John's.
Papa John's.
I was literally going to go. I literally was going to wait until you finished, and I was going to say that. That's what, like I said, I'm taking Sharpie over A-Chain. Just when is that? You know, how early is that? And once again, 110 is way too early. There goes Roscoe at the 2-4.
Okay.
I'm still going Michael Mayer over Roscoe, the draft capital, personally, but
yeah, we disagreed there. I think
that's fine.
Previously, but I'm completely fine with Rashawn there at the 2-4. Completely fine. If anyone is Damian Pierce this year, it's Rashawn Johnson.
I'm not saying it's a bad pick. Yeah, 100%. I'm not saying it's a bad pick, but Michael Mayer, I think the landing spot is fantastic here for him. And it looks like he's going to be the long-term answer, I would say.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that. I'm about to check my rankings. If you guys want access to my rankings, to Badake's rankings, go to flockfantasy.com/land. I just put the link in the chat. Use our code LAND, LAND, and get 30% off your membership. But I actually need to know who I'm going to pick next. So I'm legitimately, this is where my rankings are held. And I actually don't know what to do here at the 2-6. So let me check my rankings and see what they would suggest. Unless it's wanting me to log back in. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me get a new page up. Okay. So it looks like my next pick would be...
You got 8 on my screen. 7.
Really?
6.
It says I have 20 seconds.
4, 3, 2.
Okay, well, I don't know who I would pick. I thought it said I had 20 seconds left.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that was. Well, let us know who you would have picked if you had the time.
Yeah. Give me a second.
Yeah, okay. Miller is a tough one for me there, Jasmine. I guess we could talk about it, but let's see what you're gonna say.
So my pick, probably should have been. I think Rashee Rice is like, this is dart throw city here for me, but I think I would have gone Mingo. Oh, Mingo's off the board. Okay, then it probably would have been Rice actually. Yeah, I think it would have been Rice now that I'm looking at it.
Yeah, that's good.
I would definitely go Kendre Miller over Rashawn still. I know people are talking about that, but then after Miller, I would go Rashawn.
Big ol' Roscoe. So Richie Rice, Josh Downs, Marvin Mims, Luke Musgrave here at the 210. Let's see. I know there's 2 people I would definitely be taking here. That's not one of them, but Sam Laporta goes here at the 210.
Yep, Musgrave, Sam Laporta off the board. I think those are good picks at the back end of the second for sure. Laporta, I would say I prefer over Musgrave at this point. I don't know about you, but
yeah, there goes one tank that I would like there at the moment. Laporta and Luke Musgrave is really hard to kind of gauge right now. I have them back to back. I think there is an argument to have Luke Musgrave over Laporta. Once again, I think we said this yesterday or a couple of days ago. Too many mouths to feed there in Detroit. Where's that workload going to be coming from? How much is that going to be? Where I feel like Luke Musgrave's, I guess, upside feels higher right now. And in the long haul, right? I mean, the Lions have Jameer. The Lions have Amon-Ra, who I think we will both agree they're going to extend. J-Mo when he comes back, right? So and not even that, Monty is there as well. Like, he's not and nothing. So I need to see what that offense looks like first to feel really comfortable. I would say that is the better offense for sure.
Yeah, and that's what I would lean on personally. Yeah. I don't expect Musgrave or Laporta to be superstar fantasy contributors year one, but Laporta's in the better offense, you know. So ultimately I think he'd have more opportunities to score fantasy points.
For sure, for sure.
But yeah, had a lot of people. Okay, let's wait until these players go off the board. But there's two players in particular I wanted to discuss that people were, some kindly, some not so kindly, suggesting that we missed on in our rankings, and I'd love to hear people's thoughts about it. So let's wait for those two players to go off the board and then have a talk about him. But Jaden Reed at the 3-2, I know the person who picked him is a Packers fan, but I think he should be higher than that personally.
Yeah,
I would take Jaden Reed somewhere in the second round, I think.
Yeah, and that's who I was kind of alluding to. I was like, okay, Tank. There was two people I was going to take. That's Tank and Jaden Reed. That video is going to be coming out soon when we kind of talk about those guys a little bit more. But yeah, that's definitely somebody I would have taken. I would say Hendon Hooker feels a bit too high in my eyes. I don't know how you feel about that.
I do have Hooker ranked higher than you, but I agree. I don't think I have him in my top. He would be like my 302.
Yeah, I'm happy to take him there in the third round.
I do think he's worth a shot. We talk about how there's so many dart throws after. Really, I think you could say from like the 2-3 onwards, there's maybe even the 201. It's just a lot of dart throws and making up scenarios in your head as to how these players could be fantasy relevant. And Hendon Hooker, to me, I think there's not a high chance that he starts over Jared Goff in the next 2 years. And it's hard to see Jared Goff failing. But if Hendon Hooker does start on that team, he automatically becomes the best pick in the second round. Easily.
I can hear. Yeah, once again, all depends on if he gets on the fields. And like you said, it's really hard to see Jared Goff fail. And I also believe Jared Goff is going to get a contract extension, kind of like what Geno did, a 2-year, maybe 3-year contract extension with the Lions here. So there's going to be a time and place where they're going to have to pay all these people. So yeah, I'm more comfortable with all these guys. I would say Tank, Jaden Reed. I'm happy to take a shot over those two guys, but yeah, I would say 302, 303 feels really comfortable for me.
What are you doing here?
I'll go with not my guy, but he's my guy, just because he's on my team now.
Oh, okay. Jalen Hyde off the board.
Yeah, I'm happy to take him here in the third round. Obviously he didn't make my top 24, but I think there's definitely a pathway here. The Giants are really high on Jalen Hyatt, and they're apparently, we traded up for him in the third, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, not a massive thing, but I'm glad he won the third. Great value, a guy that was obviously projected in the first, then second.
So my next pick, according to my rankings, will be Nathaniel Dell. I think something that should be stated is that I really didn't have much interest in Nathaniel Dell before the draft. But to be honest, after that top 4, JSN, Addison, Flowers, Johnston, I had sleepers, but I didn't have anyone that I just felt like I would defend until the cows come home against a wall, spotlight on me. There wasn't a prospect like that. So I do think we have to consider what NFL teams thought of these players. And Tank Dell was the higher pick than a lot of these other wide receivers. Goes into an offense with not a lot of competition. I struggle to see Tank Dell being any sort of consistent fantasy contributor, but at the same time, he's a dart throw there. And as much as Dameon Pierce had lack of competition heading into last year, I mean, Tank Dell does too. So I'll take a shot on him there at the 3-6.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see a pathway for Tank. I was actually looking at all these people yesterday on that team. John Mechie, Nico there, Dalton Schultz. I mean, there's a lot of pass catching threats. Yeah, is Nico really a pass catching threat? We haven't really seen John Mechie on the field as of yet. I think we would both say we would rather have John Mechie. So it's interesting what Tank is going to be bringing. But the thing is, he doesn't bring the size. He brings, I would say, some sort of versatility, creating, putting him in space, maybe screen plays. So it's really interesting how they're going to use him. And now Xavier Hutchinson as well. So now they bring another guy with size. I would say the second biggest, because Nico's like 6'4", or something like that. So
I'll say this: Nico doesn't scare me. He's never scared me. I've never thought he was like going to turn into some superstar. Xavier, I think, could there's a path. There's definitely a scenario in which Xavier ends up being more valuable than Tank Dell. Like that would not surprise me at all. I definitely prefer Xavier as a prospect, but they clearly told us that they didn't. Took Tank Dell 3 rounds earlier, was it? The thing with John Mechie, I think John Mechie is a better prospect than Tank Dell, but John Mechie, correct me if I'm wrong, was not selected by this regime.
No, he wasn't.
Tank Dell was their pick, so it might be hard to just assume that they're going to give preferential treatment to Mechie.
We also have to remember Robert Woods is there as well. So
Robert Woods couldn't keep Westbrook Akine off the field.
for sure. But I think that is something that we need to look into and just not look into, just like keep in mind, right? Tank, I think, can definitely see a workload. I would say it will probably be a little bit later on in this season. But if I had to put money on it, like you were kind of alluding to, we both love Xavier Hutchinson and what he can do.
Someone asked, do you think he'll make the team? I don't see him not making this team.
Yeah, I don't see him not making.
No, I mean, he's definitely going to be on this team. Once he gets in the building, that's one of those guys where maybe I am a little bit biased on because I really loved his film, but I don't see him. I don't see him not making the team personally.
Luke Shoemaker at the 312. I was hoping he goes in the 4th here. I think that's also another really good dart throw. Significantly better draft capital than Jake Ferguson. What does that mean for Jake Ferguson? It's really hard to say right now. But I don't think he is somebody that we should forget about. I think I might bring up one of my solo videos this week is some people I kind of want to talk about. I think he might be on the list. I have to continue doing research, but I was thinking about doing a video of him being on the list there. So it's interesting with the situation.
I agree. Darth Dookie, thanks for the super chat, man.
Huge love.
He says, in a 10-team start 8 1 quarterback league, would you trade a late 24 first for Javonte Williams on a rebuilding team? Burrow, Etienne, Chase, Olave, Muth.
Would you trade a late 24 first for Javonte?
24 first for Javonte Williams. It's a 10-teamer, so that's guaranteed to be top 10.
Right now, I'm leaning as I am holding that 24 first.
Javonte came out of this draft as a huge winner.
And that's where I was going to go to. Like, what happens? I just don't see him returning the value. He did come back as a winner, but I still think we need to remind ourselves, which I'm trying to as well. This injury was pretty significant, and him coming back and being himself, like we've seen with all these other people tear their ACL. I don't think the return is going to be immediate this year. So I think and maybe that is the conversation to sell Javonte high right now if you can get a first for him, to acquire 24 first, because people are maybe forgetting, like, hey, remember he has a torn ACL. But I don't know. I think I'd rather.
Well, yeah, he's definitely not priced. He's not priced that way without the ACL issue, but it is difficult because you kind of have to place him in the category of what we saw from J.K. Dobbins last year. It might not be as bad. That was truly, excuse my language, but a shit show. So it likely won't be that bad, but still concerning. Yeah, Tucker Kraft off the board. It's really gross here. This is really gross. But it's a 4th round. Of course it's gross. I'd probably end up taking Puka.
Puka Nuka. Oh, you know where Bryce Ford Wheaton went?
To your Giants.
Bulk it up.
Undrafted though, right?
Yeah. I know you really liked him a lot, and he had a good combine.
I don't really like his film. I just thought the combine, we should have at least, put him on notice.
Yeah.
Or he put teams on notice with that combine performance. But I'm surprised that how many people draft based off of,
free agent.
Size, speed, athleticism that he was undrafted.
Right. And I think that's what's good. Like the speed was great and the size is great, and I think that's exactly what I guess the Giants wanted. Speed. The big thing here is speed this year, of course.
I'm gonna take Stetson Bennett here. Why not? Matthew Stafford's had so many issues, and if Stetson Bennett starts, he's never gonna be a fantasy superstar. But what if he's just okay?
Who's the backup there? Because Baker's not there anymore.
They've had issues with backups for a long time. I think he'll step in and be their backup personally.
Let's see.
Baker's not there, obviously, but they were struggling between Bryce Perkins. They were struggling between.
Yeah, it's just the two. It's just the two actually. Stenson and Matthew Stafford.
So he is the backup.
That's hilarious.
But it was Bryce Perkins and what's his nuts, the guy who was working at the local grocery store and got the call.
Wolford,
like yeah.
Except Pat's got the best. Malik Cunningham.
As we're ending this first mock draft, if you guys want to see 4 today, go ahead and do us a massive favor and smash that like button. Currently at 102. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. 255 people watching. If you get us to 250 likes, we will guarantee 4 mock drafts. So do us a favor. Go ahead and smash that like button for us. With 255 people watching, I'm not going to do quick maths here, but quick maths, the math are mathing that we could get 250 likes with all your help. So let's see.
Yeah.
Timothy says Stetson will definitely play this year. I got a feeling the Rams are going to be a better team than we think, though.
Yeah, and I think that's
what I'm struggling with.
We were so skewed last year. Matthew Stafford injured, Cooper Kupp injured.
That's what Jared just said.
It just wasn't good. So
heard someone joke that Stetson will be the mentor for Stafford. Thanks for the sub, Sean.
Rams are low-key tanking. I don't know, man. I think they're gonna go for it.
They could be. It's just that I don't see Sean McVay tanking. I don't think it's in his DNA.
I think that's the thing. I don't see him tanking. I think that's why he was just. I bet
you the ownership would want to, but the ownership's not going to move on from Sean, your Super Bowl winning coach, and I don't think Sean wants to.
And I think that's why Sean was like, I'm contemplating retiring. Sean doesn't want to rebuild. I think he got his ring, and if he can go to another situation where he can be a head coach, and he went to this team and just like build it up from the bottom up, and he doesn't want to do that again.
Sub, Naveen.
Thank you so much, man. So I'm interested to see what's gonna happen there, but I think they're gonna try and go for it again, personally.
Yeah. Well, they have their first round pick right next year for the first time. So wow, Puka went undrafted. Okay, all right.
Puka.
Maybe I could get him as a taxi here soon. All right, let's do another mock draft here. Let's pop off another one.
Pop in, guys. If you want to join another mock draft, all you have to do is join our Discord. Link in the description, and link is going to be here in the chat. Go there, go to content, or Fantasyland tab, go to content releases, and that's exactly where you can join this mock draft. Once again, join the Discord, Fantasyland tab with the orange footballs, content releases, and that's exactly how you can join this mock draft. If you were in this last one, let somebody else join. Give them opportunity, You got 226 people here watching, so a lot of people want to mock, a lot of people want to practice. So let's see if we can get this going. Let me know when you send that. Okay, you just did.
Yeah.
Pop in. What a day already, man. What a season so far, huh? How many days until day 1? Week 1. So who's out there? Me, bro. Who's letting us know? Who's doing the quick maps? Who's doing the quick ones? Make sure you join this mock, by the way.
Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna keep mocking by you. Last time you were ahead of me, so now I get to. Snap you.
That's fair. Okay, once again, Fantasyland tab, content releases, 3, 2, there you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Thanks everybody for joining us today. Really appreciate you.
133 days until day 1. Week one?
Is that right?
I don't know why I keep saying day one.
It feels like literally yesterday that we had people in the chat saying 130 days to the draft. You know,
Gosh,
crazy. All right, let's go ahead and start this thing. Wow, wow.
Bring the sounds back.
Wow. No, please.
Here we go. Anthony Richardson at the
sounds are so obnoxious.
101. There's definitely a fantasy community, especially on Twitter, that believes A-Rich should be 101 over Bijan with the upside, with the draft capital. I would say it's fair. I think I will be speaking for both of us. We wouldn't do that. We would still go Bijan.
Yeah.
Unless you're changing your mind or have changed
Definitely
your mind.
not. No.
Okay, so yeah, I'm still happy to go Bijan, and then any of these quarterbacks. But once again, I'm not someone that's going to argue. If you want to take A-Rich at the 101, do you? But once again, we wouldn't do it, or I wouldn't do it. Right? We both wouldn't do it.
No, we would not. We would not. So here at the 1-5, we see Gibbs off the board.
Goes Jason.
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Jackson.
Here's how I feel about this whole Addison Johnson thing. Okay. Which is kind of how I felt about Chris Olave last year. Chris Olave last year was my, he could outproduce everyone. Now, I missed on that because, well, technically hit, but I didn't really think Wilson would do the same. Anyway, Chris Olave is who I thought could have the most production out of the year one wide receivers. I look at this group, and I think that's Addison. He has maybe the more concerning long-term outlook because of the quarterback play.
Yep.
But if I'm on a team that wants to win this year, Olave was a serious contributor to your team in year one. Johnston could be, but as much as we keep saying, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, they're going to get injured, they could also be healthy. I mean, there's a high chance that they get injured, but they could be healthy. And if they are, then Johnston is limited a little bit. Sorry?
He took Quentin, by the way. He got auto-picked.
Yeah, I did. I had him on my queue, so that would happen in case anything went. But what I was going to say is that at the end of the day, I think I'm still taking Quentin, unless I am in this strictly win now build.
Oh, Ukadukes. Oh.
Yeah, I was trying to paint a picture, man. I was trying to tell a story here.
That's what he did.
Storyteller.
Ooh, he did a little cross on you, which makes sense. And once again, and kind of trying to paint the picture as well with Zay Flowers. I think there is kind of an opportunity with Zay to go ahead of Jordan Addison. I think once again the long-term answer there is significantly better with Jordan Addison, and I'm kind of leaning towards Zay Flowers over Jordan Addison. And I was reading something.
Oh, I can't go that far. This is interesting. Go ahead.
I know, and I kind of want to bring the conversation, so I'll take him here.
Wow.
I'll take him here and hear me out, because I was reading something, and they were saying, what was the main problem last year for the Ravens, and it was that people couldn't get open, right? And everyone was kind of honing in on Mark Andrews, and he couldn't have the weapons, and obviously Rashad Bateman wasn't healthy enough. Yeah, maybe in the fantasy outlook, year one, Zay Flowers is not going to be amazing. But I mean, like you always say, we don't draft. Well, like I always say, I like to draft for the future and everything, and I like to think about this long-term process. Lamar Jackson, the better long-term quarterback, I would say, in general, and that what you want. And what Zay brings is his separation. How quick he can change directions when Lamar Jackson is moving outside the pocket. So when Zay is going to the right or running a slant to the right and Lamar's running left, Zay can switch really quick. Zay is we've seen those videos kind of, come to surface there with Zay Flowers this past couple weeks. And I think that's exactly why they brought Zay in. And I like it. I'm kind of leaning towards Zay over Addison right now. Once again, based off of his ability to get open, based off of Lamar Jackson being the long-term answer, and also my true belief that this offense is going to change. Still like Jordan Addison, but I think there are good arguments for Zay to go over Jordan Addison right now, which I like.
Yeah, I hear you.
Now, because I see what Jasmine's saying. Sorry to interrupt. Now, a realistic target for Zay this year, definitely tough. I agree. Like this year is probably won't be the best for Zay.
And if that's the case, you shouldn't be drafting him ahead of Addison.
maybe. And like with OBJ there, I completely agree with Mark Andrews. Well, he's going to be there for the long term. Rashad Bateman. But I think we will be surprised. I think there'll be no surprise here if Zay Flowers, will be no surprise if, what am I trying to say? Hey, I'll end my thought there. How about that? Before I keep rambling.
I think everyone's wanting to know what you were trying to say there.
Well, I was saying,
what was that final thought there?
I was saying like, and my final thought, well, I think I won't be surprised if we see Zay be one of the, like a second or third highest out of the wide receivers finish. Like, just based off of.
He should be, based off of how bad this class is.
Yeah.
That's low expectations, I think. But.
Maybe. And maybe that is. But I think in the long term, once again, just like a lot of people are viewing Quinton with Justin Herbert, one of the best quarterbacks. I think Lamar can definitely do that and be there. So.
Yeah.
Just
I feel like
conversation. Sorry.
I hear you.
Conversation.
I think I've kind of put my thoughts out there on the last couple streams, so I don't really want to repeat information, but I agree that the offense will change, but this team was bottom 5 in pass attempts per game last year. So what, are they going to now be like top 10? No. Like, Lamar is still Lamar. He still has his limitations. And that's not to say that he's not a good thrower, but he's certainly not someone that you want to feed, like 35 pass attempts per game.
Yeah.
So I still have some concerns, and I think everyone who is like in on Flowers over Addison is trying to paint the best picture possible and just assuming that that's going to happen when, yeah, it's a new offense, but we haven't seen that happen with Lamar. That's not been the case for 5 years, and I understand change is coming, but I think you're betting a lot on it to go exactly how you want it to go. People who are doing that. So, I don't think I can get there, but I can definitely respect people out there who are. I'll take Jaden Reed here at 2-7.
Okay. And once again, starting the conversation, trying to, because I'm hearing a lot of people like Zay, so I wanted to know, and I think when I was reading it, I like those points. Right.
Jasmine brings up a great point. If Zay, Andrews, and Odell all average 6 targets per game, that's 300 plus pass attempts. Lamar has never had more than 265 pass attempts.
Yeah, and that's
in his career. So it's possible that happens.
Yeah. I think it's also,
but it's still murky.
Yeah, I would say this. I think it's also, in a fantasy perspective, 100% that Jordan Addison feels like he's going to go and get he's going to have a lot more targets based off of what we know from Kirk Cousins. But I think a lot of people are just forgetting that, like, this team also has Dalvin, who demands targets. Also has TJ Hawkinson that demands targets. I'm going to take Josh Downs.
Dalvin Jefferson used to demand targets, not anymore. The offense is not built around Dalvin anymore.
No, and you're
right. We're talking about the Vikings. The only teams that... What if I told you that Minnesota threw the ball more than Kansas City last year? More than Buffalo.
I won't disagree.
There's only 2 teams that threw the ball more times per game last year, and it's not as if they got some superstar running back and new head coach. Like, we know the Vikings are going to throw the ball a lot, and they lost Adam Thielen. They added TJ Hawkinson, but it was a clear need for the team. Whereas we're trying to paint the picture of best case scenario in Baltimore, and I feel as if I've been burnt too many times by a Baltimore, weapon outside of Mark Andrews that I'm not willing to bet on it over Addison. I will say that there is a chance that Flowers ends up being the number 1 wide receiver on his team, but is he overtaking Mark Andrews?
Yeah, and I would agree there. He's not.
I don't think that happens, and then you're just hoping that the offense changes completely. But I don't know. If they're going to go out there and ask Lamar to throw the ball 35 times a game, that's not going to work. The reason this offense is successful is because you can't play high. You can't play high safeties. You have to respect the run with Lamar and JK and the options that they run, if they're going to go out and transition this offense completely, which I don't anticipate them doing, but all of a sudden defenses are going to start playing you differently. And Lamar will not be a very efficient quarterback if they change the offense so drastically to the point where, you know, he's not rushing the ball, or it's not an important part of his game. So I don't know. I struggle to see Flowers breaking out. It's not out of the realm of possibilities. And I was the one advocating for Flowers before the draft. It was me, you know. So
yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing. I think that and I think this is what's tough, right? The statistics are there with Lamar being really hard to kind of hold up a fantasy wide receiver. But I think once again, and maybe that's what I'm leaning on. Maybe that's what the fantasy community is leaning on. That people that see Zay Flowers, and once again, I'm being convinced more and more every day. But I can see the argument of Zay being the better option in the long term. In the long term, and I don't want to just knock that just because of what we've seen from Lamar, because people have changed, right? Like we've seen it with Jalen Hurts and what he did. I mean, you know, so many people were off on Jalen. A completely different scenario. He's like, there's no way he can uphold two fancy wide receivers. He had two in the top 10, top 15, right? Like, what if that's Lamar this year? Once again, thank you so much. But obviously, that is best case scenario. So I just think,
I mean, Lamar's been a starter for like 5 years now. That was Jalen Hurts' second year.
Yeah, I know, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Two different scenarios, but I think there's definitely change to come, which I like, and I think it's a little bit too harsh, I would say, in the fantasy community, to not highly consider Zay, in some scenarios. And I'm on the clock.
I'm down to consider him in some scenarios, but not over Addison personally. But I mean, look, I can respect it. Everyone has their reasoning or their rationale or the scenario that they see, you know, playing out. But, you know, if people are worried about Kirk Cousins with Jordan Addison, I mean, I stress this a lot on the channel, but people's opinions and their value of dynasty players changes in season by the week. Like I legitimately, as the Travis Etienne truther on the channel, I had to tell people that Travis Etienne was going to be better than James Robinson after week 2. And people were legitimately telling me that I was crazy. I don't think that we account for that enough, how the value could change during the first season and the value you could get for each player. You know, we think about well, in 2 years and 3 years, well, the value is now, and the value changes every week in the NFL season. I don't know. So I hear you, but I just don't think people actually play that way. They say they want to play that way, and then in the first 5 weeks, you know, their opinion changes because they're watching football.
Yeah, for sure. So for the last couple of years, yeah. Look, we'll see what happens. I think. Hold on 1 second. What did he say?
Yeah, and I don't want to be the anti-Zay guy on the channel because I was the Zay guy on the channel before the draft. But I just still have some concerns. Okay. End of the third round here. Deuce Vaughn is going to start moving up boards after people see that call with his dad.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
while he's playing special teams.
Well, there's no other running back. Who else is there?
They're going to bring Zeke back, bro.
Are you serious?
Zeke will be a Cowboy.
You think
I'm calling it now. Yeah. Zeke will be a Cowboy. Nobody else wants him.
I mean, hold on. Let me just look at the Cowboys depth chart. I think they do have somebody. Didn't they have like some running back named Davis or something for a while? Forgot his name. Yeah, Malik Davis. There you go. They got Ronald Jones. Forgot about that.
You know what's crazy is, like, I actually don't know who's a better running back right now, Ronald Jones or Zeke.
I know who is the better
Zeke
running
would get
back.
preferential treatment,
Deuce.
but
Yeah, I mean, 6th round. What can
yeah.
you do? What can you do?
Tom, we have watched his film. Guys, if we're talking about players, we've watched their film. That's one of the most frustrating comments we get on YouTube videos. Oh, you guys don't know. You should watch the film. What do you guys think we do here? We spend like 6 months to a year watching people's film.
Yeah, no, and I said this before. I was like, man, Deuce, he's 5'6", 175 pounds. What he's done on the field is phenomenal, right? He's a threat in the air. He's small, he's elusive, hard to tackle, and he's great in space.
Yeah, he looks like an absolute superstar Christian McCaffrey in college.
Yeah. So it looks great in his film, but you know, how can that translate into the NFL where he literally has guys 4 or 5 times his size gonna be taking him down?
Yeah,
probably snap him at half.
That's just one of my least favorite comments on our videos. Go watch his film. Like, what do you guys think we do for a year? Oh, that's a good idea. I should look at who this player is. I'm talking on him and I don't know who he is. Tucker Kraft. Tucker Kraft's gonna be a smash, I guess, in the 4th round.
Yeah, man. That's the second one. Second time he fell there.
Sorry, that was too harsh, Tom. Not your fault. Not your fault. That's just inner frustration I've just harbored, and I've taken it out on you. I just think that comment is so annoying. Like, what do you guys think we do, man? That's all we do in the offseason. What are you thinking here at the 4-8?
Just looking at some people. I'm just 4th round guys. You just gotta take a shot, right? I mean, I'll take ATT Perry.
Yeah. Tyler says, how do you guys feel about Downs? Seems like consensus is lower on him after the draft. Yeah, we had a video that released this morning for you guys about our rankings, and we actually went into depth about Josh Downs. So I'd be happy to place this link in there for you. There's about a 5 to 10 minute conversation specifically about Downs. In summation, I'll just say that I have some serious concerns. Well, he's a limited prospect. All these guys are after the top 4, and even in the top 4 they are. But I have some serious concerns around the identity of the offense. And I just think about Lamar's first year in the league. Think about Justin Fields last year as a starter. I just don't think you wanted a pass catcher on those teams. And one of Richardson's biggest weaknesses is his accuracy and his touch. And I don't think that's just going to be fixed day one. And I think he's going to start day one. So I know a lot of people were excited for Pittman with the pick. If you own Pittman like I do in some leagues, to me, that's not the ideal pick. It would have been Stroud for the weapons there. And that's not to say that Anthony Richardson can't, in 2 years or 3 years, become a Josh Allen type player where a lot of the issues are fixed and you turn into this air raid offense. But that's the best case scenario, and it doesn't always work out that way. There's a scenario in which this team tries to win based off of running the ball 35, 40 times a game. So love Richardson as far as his floor and his ceiling in fantasy, having him, but I don't think that his pick is beneficial for any pass catcher in Indianapolis. Yeah.
There are so many different, perspectives on A. Rich and Josh Downs. I'm actually going to pick up the one. Before I get into that, guys, if you want to join this mock draft, join our Discord, link in the description below. Link's also going to be in the chat. Go there, go to Fantasyland tab, go to content releases, and that's exactly how you can join this mock draft. Go there and join. Here we go. 3, 2. There you go. That link is out. But yeah, look. It's tough. Like it's a tough argument for Josh Downs and A Rich. And the only thing I feel like I can lean on and I can bring as like a light at the end of the tunnel is just really is what we've seen in the history of what Shane Steichen did there with Jalen Hurts, how he upbrought him, and now he's with the Colts trying to upbring Anthony Richardson. I always like Josh Downs as a prospect. I think he can be a massive, massive weapon in this offense that all relies on Anthony Richardson. And what that's going to, I don't think it's going to be a perfect marriage year one, but once again, another guy in 2-3 years, I would say in his second year going in, I feel a lot more comfortable taking him with confidence, depending on how A Rich develops. And
And I think
we can say that he can develop, and I feel like A Rich is going to be better by the end of this year, but we honestly don't know, right? So
yeah, I think exactly what you just said is why I'm really concerned. Is like we're saying like in 2 to 3 years, which is correct. That should be like the expectation. Like in 2 to 3 years, maybe he's a better passer. But like we've said before, people's opinions and dynasty rankings and values change way quicker than 2 to 3 years. So that's my take on it.
Yeah. So we'll see. We will see. I mean, I'm trying to think of I don't know. I mean, the best thing you can think of is Jalen Hurts, and that took a year or two. So
yeah.
You hope that's the same upbringing. You hope that Anthony Richardson can pick it up immediately. You hope that he can be this guy with him. Yeah, maybe it hurts Michael Pittman, which is the more and more I think about it, I feel like the Colts will extend him, but I won't be surprised if he walks either, Michael Pittman, if he gets more money, better money somewhere else.
I would love that. I would love if he walks because, again, just because Anthony Richardson was selected in the top 4, just been my thoughts, doesn't mean he's going to be a successful NFL quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
It means he has the timeline to develop into one. But for the pass catchers there, to me, it's really worst case scenario. Like it'll be a bottom 5. When I think of worst case situations for my receivers in fantasy, I think Indy would be bottom 5 right now.
Right. Yeah. I definitely hear you. It's interesting. It's interesting how it's all going to pan out. Jahmyr Gibbs at the 1-4 here over CJ Stroud. I'm still going to quarterbacks over Jahmyr personally.
Yeah.
And then obviously you can go whichever way you want to go. I would say with these wide receivers, pick your poison.
Yeah.
I like Quinton. He likes JSN. Then you can go from there. Devin Achane at the 110, Dalton Kincaid at the 111, and Zach Charbonnet at the 112. Still going Dalton over Achane. Still going Will Levis over Achane. Still going Michael Mayer over Achane, and then once again, and Charbonnet. Then pick your poison. In my opinion, I think we see that a little bit differently.
I wouldn't take Mayer over Achane personally, but we do see that differently.
By the way, I know this is so late. Did we ever answer that super chat by NT? So sorry if we didn't, brother.
Dude, I don't think we did. I'm sorry.
So sorry, because I just saw we got a super chat now, and we forgot to answer the other
NT, dude,
chat.
so sorry about that. He says, I have Mahomes and T-Law with no QB3. With the 102, do I go quarterback or take Gibbs? Don't have a running back 3 either. Well, it sounds like you have 2 good running backs that you trust. To me, I would still be going quarterbacks at the 1-2.
Yeah, I would also say if you're okay with the quarterbacks and you want to try to move back. Try and go to the 1-4. Try and go to the 1-5. Fill out your league and see what's gonna happen, because if there's someone like this here, Joe taking Jahmyr Gibbs at the 1-4, then maybe your best taking Jahmyr Gibbs early. Obviously, we wouldn't do that, but if you want to take that chance, you can. We still rather have those quarterbacks and then trade them later. But trade back. That's what we would say. Trade back to the 1-5. 1-5 seems like the sweet spot right now for Jahmyr Gibbs. So sorry about that, brother. We really appreciate you.
All right, PJ, thank you for the super chat. hop off the PJ. Let me grab Kendra Miller here at the 2-3. Y'all really let me get Kendra at the 2-3. Y'all tripping. PJ says Mechie and a 24 first for Burks and the 201. I mean, as much as I love Burks, no, you don't make that deal.
Yeah.
Burks shouldn't cost like a mid 24 first. I mean, of course, I don't know where that first is right now, but Burks shouldn't cost a mid 24 first. I'm all in on Burks. I think I'll probably make a video about him this week. I've been screaming to buy him all offseason, but I don't think he should cost that much.
Yeah, I agree. Shouldn't cost that much. I mean, I'm not massively high on Burks right now, or just never been that high as I would say compared to Zach. But I will be taking the 24 first in Mechie. Will Levis falls to the 2-1. I like him at the 111-ish area, 112, but him at the 2-1 is not bad either. Tank going over Kendra Miller. I wouldn't do that personally. Still going Kendra over Tank. Then go Michael Mayer at the 2-4. Are you going Michael Mayer or Kendra? Well, clearly you went Kendra. Duh. Okay, Kendra. That's fair. Roscoe goes at the 2-5. Mingo.
Kendra's gonna get work year one, man.
Yeah. Mingo at the 2-6. Mims, Downs, Rice, Reed. Big run of wide receivers here. Let me ask you this: how you?
But
feeling?
It's close. Like I'll just say it's close. Like you can decide whatever path you want to take there. But I would go Kendra. I think you'll get more return year one.
How would you feel more return year one? Okay, and that I'm assuming then you will be. So if you draft Kendra, that means you're taking him over everyone that went. So that means even over Mingo.
Yeah, okay. I would go Kendra over Mingo.
Okay,
yeah.
That's fair.
But I think the Mingo hates too much. Everyone is pretending that they know more than NFL scouts on Mingo.
Yeah. Once again,
he's definitely not a polished prospect, but he has the athleticism and the draft capital to be interesting. He's my 17th ranked player, so right around the 2-6. That's exactly where I would take him as well, at the 2-6.
Okay. Hendon Hooker at the 2-11 here.
Yeah. Someone asked about thoughts on ETN and Tank. I want to save Badake and I's opinions for the video that you guys will see tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning, guys, we are releasing our sleepers, our 2023 rookie draft sleepers that you should be drafting. Excited for that video. We planned on releasing it last night, but you guys were blowing up this rookie ranking video that we didn't want to like cap the potential of that video.
Yeah.
So we decided, hey, these are two incredible videos. Let's hold this one for tomorrow. So we will have our rookie sleeper video out in your morning, and there'll be 4 sleepers that Badake and I are targeting in drafts. So yeah. Thanks for the sub, Tree Alva.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'll take Luke Musgrave here in the 3rd.
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
It's so funny because I feel like from the 2-6 to the 3-5, you can make a case for so many players.
That's the thing. That's the hard part right there, and you have to try and find the right one. Because I think one of those wide receivers, I would say 2 out of the 5 wide receivers that went in the 2nd will hit. I think have the chance to hit, right? And then also the tight ends. So out of the 3, well, I think all those tight ends will hit.
Thanks for the sub, Steb.
Take a little bit longer, but we'll see.
Spears says Josh Downs and Marvin Mims over Mingo for him.
Who says this? Sorry, I'm trying to find that.
Cole. I think. Okay, so let's just put it in this way. I respect the opinion. If you're going Josh Downs over Mingo, then you have a ton of belief in yourself as a scout or as someone who has the ability to project success. And if you feel comfortable doing that, then all the more power to you. You'll get Downs at probably, I don't know if you'll get him at values because some people are still all in.
Yep.
But the more power to you. I will just say that 32 franchises decided that they didn't want Josh Downs over Mingo. That's all I'll say. But of course, there's a possibility that Downs ends up being more successful. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
let's say this: if Downs and Mingo both hit their absolute ceilings, who do you want?
I will, based off talent and what I know so far, I would have to say Downs because I haven't done my full extent scouting.
I would say Mingo.
And I would say that as well, but the only reason why I didn't say that is because I didn't do my full extent research on Mingo like I did with Downs. I can understand the athleticism, 6'2", 200 plus is a better profile for a wide receiver. Completely agree. But once again, I don't think I can say that with confidence because of, once again, Mingo wasn't a guy that, and being transparent, a guy that we even scouted fully as like watch a complete tape like we did with all these other people. But he has gotten the draft capital over Josh Downs. So
Nick says technically incorrect, right? 32 teams didn't decide Gibbs was worth 112. I'm speaking specifically to Downs. 32 teams had the chance to draft him. They decided not to do that over Mingo, right? Mm-hmm. They decided not to do it in the same round as Mingo. Yeah, that was the.
I will release a video on Mingo though. That is going to be one of my individual videos, not just purely on Mingo, but 5 prospects that I can't stop drafting or something like that. I need to figure out the title. But Mingo.
Kayshawn Booty, how the mighty have fallen.
Ooh, Kayshawn in the 4 to the New England Patriots. Tell me who else is there. Juju Smith, a Super Bowl champion. He's shit. Let's be honest.
Nick, I understand what you're saying, but again, what I'm saying is that 32 teams decided not to take Downs. At least one decided they would take Mingo, right? So, the mighty have fallen. Rest in peace, King.
Rest in peace. He'll come back. The pathway's there.
And I want to take Xavier here, but Tank is available, and they picked him 3 rounds earlier.
X gonna give it to you.
Oh, come on, guys. Push Tank Dell up boards. I mean, please.
That's the oversight for me because the capital. Juju Smith, Kendrick Bourne, Devontae Parker, all wide receivers. Take Tyquan Thornton. I was gonna say Taquan Thornton. Tyquan Thornton's there as well. I mean, Kayshawn Booty can beat out Kendre.
I don't know what his name is, but there's someone on Twitter who is like defending Kayshawn Boutte until it's the end of him. And he is saying that Boutte will have a Stephon Diggs career arc.
Oh, be careful. Be careful.
I don't think that happens, but it could.
I would say this. I think this is a great landing spot for Kayshawn. The capital's not there. Obviously, I think the pathway is there because you're going up against Devontae Parker, who is like, what is he, 30 years old? You're going against Kendrick Bourne, who is also 27 plus years old. Obviously, Juju Smith coming in with a contract now. In reality, I can see Devontae Parker walking easily. I can see Kendrick walking here easily.
Is Devontae on the team still?
Yeah, Parker is. I think
is he?
Is. Yeah.
Okay.
And obviously Tyquan Thornton, who he kind of has to. I think he's a field stretcher. He's going to be, hypothetically, let's just say Devontae Parker and Kendrick Bourne walks off this team in a year, and Kendrick Bourne or Kayshawn Booty to year 2.
Yeah.
Hypothetically, they don't draft somebody. It's Juju, Kayshawn, and Tyquan. Right?
It's almost like talking about if I was on the team. Who cares? Like Devontae Parker's irrelevant. Kendrick Bourne is irrelevant. We just have to see if Kayshawn Boutte can develop a role.
Exactly.
It's like, what would I do if I was on the team? I would probably die the first time they put me out there.
I'll definitely be able to take a hit, and then I'll wake up the next day. I'll say I'll be able to play a game completely gassed, and then wake up with just sores all over my body.
Yeah. That is 3 mock drafts today, guys. If you want to see a 4th, our like goal was 250. So we're quite far off of that. We might just take a couple questions here unless we can hit 250. So, do us a favor. If you have yet to smash the like button, go ahead and do so if you want to see another mock draft. We are currently 60 likes away. So that would be a historic amount of likes in a time span. But there is definitely the numbers to do it. There's 293 people.
I know y'all got multiple.
At the moment, we only need about 55 likes.
I know y'all got multiple YouTube channels.
And now it's at 50 likes.
Here we go.
Look, now we're at less than 50 likes.
Here we go.
If we get to 250, we'll have another mock draft for everyone. So smash the like button if you have yet to do it.
How many YouTube channels you got? 3, 4 maybe?
How many YouTube channels you got? People are just logging in and out to different channels.
Imagine. 207. Well, maybe we'll give him until 11 o'clock our time. That's 5 minutes, which is a long time.
You got 5 minutes to push us to 250. We're actually only 39 likes away now, which is crazy.
People signing in and out.
39 likes away from another mock draft. If you want to see one, smash that like button. Mighty Boot says, you like that? Hold the line! What's up, Ronnie? You know, who was the guy who was talking about watching film? Because I think it was Tom. Tom, I actually want to say sorry, dude.
Tom probably
I want to say sorry. I was too aggressive. That's something I need to deal with as far as not being annoyed when people say that. That's on me. I want to be better. Get better every day. You need to sit down with me, and I'm the reporter. You're LeBron James, and you step out of the meeting and say, "Be better tomorrow."
You gotta look yourself.
Be better tomorrow.
You gotta look yourself.
Tom is suing you for harassment. How do you feel about Pacheco? He looks. I mean, it looks very good for him right now. It looks very, very good for him right now.
Yeah.
I absolutely missed on that one, but I'm still concerned long term. And I would say McKinnon's probably back. So
I mean, Foreman's there, or Fournette could be there.
True. Fournette's still available. Zeke is still available.
Zeke
oh my God! If Zeke is a Chief, that would be so funny. Be like Le'Veon Bell being a Chief, almost worthless.
Almost worthless.
So at the moment, we are 20.
Gosh, remember that? Oh my God.
Wait, that's not even 20. We're 15 likes away from 250 somehow.
Oh boy.
We only need 15 more likes to hit our like goal and give you another mock draft. That's funny. Mighty Booch says, seeing Gibbs vaulting up the rankings, even ahead of young wide receiver studs I love like Olave. Can you rationalize this to me in PPR? Just smash draft on Olave. I'm just going to double check my rankings because I don't believe I have that going on. I do have... Here's what I said, and I just tweeted this out actually today. The only running backs you should have ranked ahead of Bijan or ahead of Jahmyr Gibbs in Dynasty, there's 3. And I'm not even sold on the third. Bijan Robinson, Breece Hall. And Jonathan Taylor, you probably should have ranked ahead of Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, that's what I have right now.
But he is my RB4 at this moment. I think you could definitely make a case for him being RB3. As stupid as it sounds, I think you can make a case with him being RB2. I know that sounds insane, but I think, again, you have to keep in mind how insane it is that this team drafted him with a 12th overall pick. That's historically unheard of. But again, I'm saying I'm settling right now on RB4.
We hit our like goal, by the way.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Okay, we'll pop off another one.
Last one.
With that being said, I still am not taking Jahmyr Gibbs over Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm not taking him over Chris Olave, over Jalen Waddle. Like, I'm still not doing that personally.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but
right now I have Bijan, Breece, JT, Etienne, and then Jahmyr, who is my 5. There is an argument for Etienne and JT at the moment. Maybe I just haven't looked enough into it, in my personal preference, to kind of beat that. I've been tossing up at one point because I had Jonathan Taylor as my 5 at one point, and then I brought him back up because
I think Anthony Richardson is good for Jonathan Taylor personally.
Yeah, and when I had that thought, when I kind of thought about it, when A-Rich being there, I was like, okay, he's going to either run or maybe either vulture some touchdowns or maybe open up more lanes for JT in some way, somehow. Maybe running more RPOs, which is going to make it a little bit more difficult for defenses to kind of stop JT. He went back to my 3. But once again,
okay, I see a lot of people asking for one quarterback. I really didn't expect to get like 70 likes in the span of like 5 minutes. So why don't we do 30-second super flex and a 30-second one quarterback to end?
Yeah, easy.
Send that link out over on Discord. Everyone's welcome to join.
Hold on. I didn't even realize you sent that link out.
Join the Discord, guys, if you want to be a part of this mock draft.
You have to join as well, by the way. Just FYI.
Yeah, join the Discord. And then under Fantasyland, under content releases, you'll see a mock draft link.
I'll go 9. Here we go. Content releases. As always, you guys already know. 3, 2, there you go.
Ryan says, what's the most likes you have gotten on a live? I think that happened. Was that yesterday? I think that happened yesterday.
Yeah, it was.
What was it, 400?
I think it was 400.
I think we hit 400 yesterday. Unheard of. Ridiculous. I still think about the fact that, like, yesterday we had 400 people watching. Think about that for a second. If 400 people were sitting in a room and just listening to you speak. Crazy talk.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have our live show here soon. Welcome to a live studio audience here. Imagine
be awesome.
We have a live studio audience every time you recorded like a podcast, like when Friends was recording in the prime.
Oh, we can make our videos very drama TV focused. Absolutely. I mean, the disagreements that we have on videos. Some people are commenting saying that
I'll take
that I'm a narcissist, and other people are commenting saying you don't know what you're talking about. So we could definitely create some drama TV for sure.
And you just hand the mic to the audience. Do you boys ever watch any film? Yeah. That's the first question. You think you boys that
straight panning to my face, just in anger. Oh my goodness, that is funny. I'll take Charbonnet here with the 112. PJ, thanks for the super chat, man. Appreciate you.
I think
he says Mechie. Oh, we did answer this one.
Plus 2 Mechie plus 224 seconds for Burks and a 201 in 2023.
I will now take the Burke side personally. I will now be happy with the Burke side.
Yeah, the 201.
I mean,
is still good.
I'm going to make a video about this, but I've been saying this all offseason. Buy Treylon Burks. Buy Treylon Burks. Treylon Burks is probably the single biggest wide receiver winner that wasn't drafted. They didn't draft a single wide receiver to compete with him, and they improved the offensive line.
Yeah. True, man. You can't argue with that, man. Treylon Burks, Oh, excuse me, T. Burks. Gosh. Yeah, wow. I mean, they did nothing. They just improved the whole line.
Everything they did was to say, go buy Treylon Burks in Dynasty. But yeah, we'll talk about that 100%. In a later video.
They definitely did.
Okay, 8-Chain, then Tajay. Okay, this is the highest you and I have seen Tajay. And we had a lot of questions about 2 players in particular on the video we released this morning, the rankings video. It was Tajay Spears. It was Jalen Hyatt. Mm-hmm. Tajay is not in our top 24 rankings. He's not in our top 24 rankings.
No, he's not. I mean, I'll take a fly on him in like late 3rd, maybe 4th round, but no, thank you. Even then, I'm still like, ooh,
It doesn't mean that you guys cannot draft him. You can do whatever you guys want, but with the report coming out, and yeah, hate it if you want that being the excuse, but with the report coming out that Tajay has no cartilage in his knees, and he has no ACL. It's bone versus bone.
He has arthritis.
And he has arthritis. It's bone on bone. And he's playing the running back position, which is the one where your knees need to be ready to go. I don't want any of it. I'm sorry. And if the question right now is literally, can he play out his rookie contract?
No.
I
no,
can't buy into that. I can't buy into that. So
no, thank you.
Yeah, I won't have much personally.
Yeah. Mayor Kendre goes to 2-4. Mingo Roscoe
Che
writes down.
I've been seeing a lot of people say that, which I think is hilarious. No ACL means they don't have an ACL to tear.
Yeah, no, I mean,
yeah,
200 IQ.
So, yeah, he's just ahead of everyone else.
No ACL to tear with a short career in fantasies.
Hannah says, Zach, if you have Gibbs that high, and as high possibly than JT, wouldn't that mean you would have Gibbs over JSN? And I think this was an important distinction that I didn't get to make on yesterday's video, Badake. We were making this video, and we were talking about the tiers here at the top, right? You can notice I put Jackson Smith and Jigba after Gibbs. My point wasn't that I don't think Gibbs shouldn't go over JSN. My point was that I don't think I would consider Johnson in the same tier as JSN. That's the point I was trying to make. And I think that might have been missed. Maybe I didn't clarify that enough. But yeah, you can absolutely take Gibbs over JSN if you want to. I just panic picked there because I saw the time.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Master Nader, thank you for the super chat, man. That's very kind of you.
Love.
Says Traylon plus a third for Pickens and a third. Yeah, give me Traylon, easy. I love Pickens, but no, give me Traylon.
I would take Pickens personally, but that's where we see different.
So do you have Pickens ranked higher than Traylon right now?
I do, yes. I've always had Pickens ranked higher than Traylon.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. But yeah, I mean, for me, it would be easy Traylon, but...
Trigger Trey.
And I love George Pickens.
I mean, the argument now, I mean, you brought up a good thing. The argument is great. Like, what did the Titans do to bring in competition for Traylon? You know, like, literally nothing. So, I mean, yeah, but I definitely have George Pickens at the moment higher than Traylon. So,
yeah. Well, that's fair. Someone asked if I'm going to check my Superflex rankings. At the moment, yes, I do have Jackson Smith and Jigba over Jonathan Taylor. But they're back to back. So decide who you want.
I'm on the clock here. All right. I mean, looking at some. Oh, okay. Maybe it's too early. Too early. Izzy. Ooh. I'll take Tucker here. I think fourth is too disrespectful.
Yeah, Laporta should have been my pick.
Oh, I know. I missed a freaking player.
Laporta should have been my pick there. Is it just me, or like has this year been? I've had more spam texts like to my phone this year than ever before.
Well, I mean, it's been.
Is it just me?
It's
like,
been
what's
spam
going
city
on?
after COVID. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, Zach Evans, this is my dream scenario, getting him at the 312. Beautiful. Yeah, I get so much spam lately.
Nah, for sure. It's definitely ever since COVID happened, they done got all your information, you know? I ain't grabbed my shoes or nothing, Jesus.
Wow, so the Kings lost to the Warriors at home.
Yeah, it was
Games.
I
Game 7.
kind of wanted them to win low key just so they can.
I wanted the Kings to win too, yeah.
Yeah.
And I can unashamedly say that I'm a Warriors hater. Oh, unashamedly, I will admit to that. I mean, look, when your favorite team was a Thunder and you followed Kevin Durant throughout his career at Texas, and you went to games and you lived in the area, and then he decides to go to Golden State, yeah, I had some resentment. I can admit it. Jack in Tube HD has a question. Thank you for the sub, really, or for the super chat. Really appreciate that. He says, "Hey, I traded Bijan and Ken Walker for Jahmyr Gibbs, Waddle, Pacheco, Rashad White, and a 24 first. Was that a good trade?"
Sorry, I traded Bijan, Kenneth Walker for Gibbs, Waddle, Pacheco, Rashad White, and 24 first. Then I also traded James for Addison. Okay, hold on. Bijan and Kenneth Walker for Gibbs, Waddle, Pacheco, Rashad White, and a 24 first.
I would say it's an even trade. I mean, this is a pretty good trade.
Waddle,
I think at this point, it really depends on where that first and 24 ends up being. If that 24 first ends up being like top 3 to 6, I think you've made the wrong move. But if it's a later first, like the 110 to the 112, then I would be fine with it. But as much as, like, maybe this is just me being stubborn, but I still think Pacheco has a timeline of relevancy.
Yeah,
I'll take Puka.
it's
But yeah, I mean, I just think it all relies on that 24 first.
Yeah, it does rely on the 24 first. It feels like right now that's a win because I do believe Rashad White walks, not walks, but they do get somebody. Pacheco, they do get somebody. I feel like right now it feels really good to get all those guys, Gibbs, Waddle, Pacheco, White, in the 24 first. But I think in a year you're gonna be like, damn, like, do I really want that?
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough. It feels like once again, it feels like that's a win right now. But I think in a year from now we can be like, damn, Bijan, Kendall Walker, maybe Sharby is not the guy that we thought, or maybe he didn't get the workload that we thought, and Bijan is just Bijan, right? And that 24 first is the 110.
I would say it's just really hard to claim a winner of that trade right now.
Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is. So we'll see what happens.
All right, this is for the one quarterback gang.
Fam, if you want to join this last mock draft one quarterback gang, actually let the one QB people get in because that's what they've been waiting for.
Yeah. If you're not playing one quarterback, let one quarterback people get in on this one because they've been begging for it.
Yeah. Go there. Go to our Discord.
Salivating.
Yeah, go join our Discord. Go to Fantasyland tab, and then go to content releases. I'll go here. Actually, I'll go like here. Right. Sorry, I was talking and then I started talking to myself. Join our Discord, link in the description. Link is going to be in the chat here as well. Go to Fantasyland tab with the Orange Football's content releases, and that's exactly how you can join this mock draft.
Sorry.
And I'll send that out in here. 3, 2. There you go. I'll be back. I'm just gonna get some water. 1 second. Actually, I'm gonna put a player on my queue. I'll be back.
Okay. While we're waiting on this one quarterback mock to fill up, just wanted to say a huge thank you, and we'll get to Began's super chat here, but I just want to say a huge thank you to all the subs, everyone who's subscribed, joined the community, who has dropped likes, who has been watching the content. And if you watch one of our videos and you have a different opinion, that's great. I mean, life would be so boring if we all thought the same way. So thanks for hanging out with us. Began super chat says Herbert owner Quentin Johnston 106 for potential quarterback wide receiver 1 stack. If Badake's here, he's probably telling you to take Quentin. I wouldn't do it. I would take JSN. The stack does not mean that much to me that I want to bet on a prospect like Quentin over a prospect like JSN, just personally. So, I mean, it's weird. Like, Badake's not here. This is probably the perfect question for him to plug Quentin. It's not a move I would make. If JSN's there, I'm taking JSN. I'm not overthinking it. But we'll see what he says when he comes back. All right, one quarterback.
Here we go.
Badake, there was a question in the chat. Someone basically said they're a Herbert owner. They have the 106. Is it okay for them to take Quentin, I assume, over JSN? And my response was I wouldn't do that. I would take JSN, but I assume that you would say take Quentin.
Yeah, I would take Quentin. I mean, hold on. I mean, you guys, if you're new here, he's my wide receiver 1. So I would take him. And then if I had Justin Herbert, it's just a plus, right? Get the stack. It's really up to you, but I would do that. Just depends on how you feel about Quentin or Jason. And if you want the stack, go for the stack. And if you like Jason over Quentin, then take Jason over Quentin.
Yeah. Yep. It's the upside is clearly, like, it's a great scenario for him to be in. The upside's clear with Quentin. My concern is that my floor for him is Mike Williams. And if he ends up being Mike Williams and Jackson Smith and Jigba ends up being Amon-Ra St. Brown,
fair.
That's going to be a tough one to swallow.
For sure.
Accidentally just opened up Photoshop. I hope my computer doesn't shit itself.
Right click, end.
Yeah. Yeah, Nick, it was Mike Williams and Martavius Bryant. Comps are never going to be perfect. I just try to give a range of outcomes for people. T. Higgins, DeAndre Hopkins are like the ceiling, probably unrealistic expectations, which is why it's a ceiling comp. The floor comp I gave Mike Williams and
No idea where to go.
Martavius Bryant. So
Miller.
comps are hard; they're not perfect. You know.
Oh, the Kendra Miller. Oh shit! I was looking for Miller.
He went at the 1-9, bro.
I didn't realize he.
In a one quarterback,
he's
he's going to be a first round
That's
pick.
why I was like, oh, Kendra Miller should be here. Was not paying attention.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I was like, where the hell?
Josh Downs at the 2-3.
Where the hell, Kendra?
Patty Mills. Okay. Damn, I wish Rashawn wasn't available because I was about to say this is where you take Anthony Richardson. Oh, he went at the 110. My bad. I'm an idiot. One quarterback is so strange. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. Okay, I'll take Rashawn then. At the 2-6.
Thank you for the super
I'm surprised
chat,
Rashawn fell that far at the 2-6.
Yeah.
You know, one quarterback. Styles, yep.
Huge love.
Thank you for the super chat.
Go
Go ahead.
Ken Walker's taking quite the tumble in the startups in my 12-team Superflex. He's available at the 4-8. Too much of an overreaction in the draft. We spoke about this a little bit. We spoke about this yesterday when we did a quick Superflex mock or Dynasty startup mock. He went at the 3-8. You know, thinking about it now and kind of sleeping on it, it probably is a bit early. I am comfortable taking him. I would say in the 4th, 5th round. I think it also depends on who's available. I have right now Kenneth Walker or Josh Jacobs over Kenneth Walker, and I kind of resulted that and feel that's comfortable in my heart, right? And with everything that's going on, but now the big question is Najee Harris for me and Ken Walker, excuse me, and when that if I can take him after, because right now Najee's going around the 5th round and the 4th, 5th round, so it really depends on where Najee goes and how that.
And that's too early for Najee, in my opinion, which is why I take mostly wide receivers in my startups in the first 6, 7 rounds. But I would not be touching Ken Walker before round 6.
Yeah, and I think for me, I'm on the clock again here. I'll take Jaden Reed here. You can see him. For me, I'm happy to take a shot on Ken Walker. Not take a shot, but I'm happy and believe in what we've seen last year. Even if it's 50-50 workload, or is best case scenario, and if for Ken Walker that you get him on the low and he's the AJ Dillon, like Sharpie is the AJ Dillon, right? So not somebody that we expect him to kind of get a massive fantasy outlook. So it's tough right now, honestly. I think I would say I haven't done enough Dynasty startups to give you my true answer. That's what I would say. We've only done one, and that was really skewed because it was like a 7th round one. I think the more we do it, the better I'll feel about where I would take Kenneth Walker. But my range right now is the 4th, 5th round.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch him before the 6th, and even in the 6th, I'd be concerned. But yeah, I just can't do it. Can't do it. I'll take Chase Brown.
Chase Brown, down.
I was thinking about this, Badake, with Charbonnet and Kim Walker. I can't personally think in the last 5 to 10 years of a situation where it handicaps both players so heavily.
Yeah.
I can't think of a situation in the last decade where it's just quite literally worst case scenario.
Would we agree? Let me ask you this. Coming in, was AJ Dillon a better prospect for Sharpie, or was Sharpie the better prospect?
Charbonnet is a better prospect.
And I would agree there with you. And you're right, it's difficult and we don't know what that looks like. But
Penny and Carson's an interesting one, Gavin. Like, it's close, but Penny was like a first-round pick, and Carson was this journeyman from the 7th round.
But he still kept his job because Penny couldn't stay on the field.
Because Penny couldn't stay healthy. But, like, I definitely hear where you're coming from, but I feel like if that were to happen today and, you know, Penny, we knew Penny as a prospect, we would probably all still be like, oh, Penny's probably taking the job, you know? It's just such a hard one to digest.
I also feel like those guys brought something different every time. Carson was... I'm on the clock here. I'll just take all those guys go off the board. I'll just take Xavier.
Every San Fran backfield, pretty McCaffrey. Yeah, that's not a bad shout. Tristan, thank you for the super chat. It looks like it's your first super chat. So thank you for spending your first super chat on our channel. I'm not sure if you had a question, so let us know.
Yeah, let us know. We answer the question. It's really hard, I think, and that was the first thing we said, both Cap with Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. What we could have seen Zach Charbonnet and what the opportunities he could have gotten.
Yeah, it's just wasted.
It's kind of done.
We said you left the question up top. Okay. Jameson Williams, 224 first, or Pollard, Jones, and the 23 109. I'm trying to remember, is 109 in the range of Flowers?
That is.
So worst case scenario,
end.
you're getting Flowers, right?
The end. J-Mo, 224 first. Or Daniel Jones, 1-9.
I'll pick Dwayne McBride. I think he should be considered a sleeper.
I would personally be taking as of right now and believing those picks. Let me ask you this: where do you think those picks are? I think that relies on what the picks are.
Yeah, that's a good question. Where are those picks projected to be?
If those are late picks, I don't want it. But at the moment, my gut feeling, from this. If those picks are decent, I would say from the 1 to the 8, I would be really comfortable taking that. Mid and early first. Yeah, I mean, I'm taking J-Mo in the first.
Yeah, same.
Because I think Pollard, somebody else comes in either next year. So I think he's alive.
So it's definitely early. So he's very confident it will be early. Then definitely the Jameson Williams and the 2 first side.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I would feel pretty confident in that.
You see, a lot of people, and it's not a knock on everyone that's bringing it, like Murray Henry, Eckler Gordon, Gus, Dobbins, Penny Carson, they all brought something different. Charbonnet.
Yeah, Eckler was unsigned.
Charbonnet is like not the exact same body build, but like
very similar prospect
to what Kenneth Walker is, a bully in between the tackles that has a better pass catching profile.
Yeah, I mean, I just think people they're trying to have a go at finding a worse situation, because that's what I was asking. They're just trying to find a worse situation, you know. I don't think they're saying that it is worse. I think they're just trying to.
No, I know, and it's not. And maybe I was a bit harsh there, saying like, well, that's the problem. It's not the problem. I think that is like everyone. When you think of those scenarios, it's hard because you can't. It's hard to compare.
Yeah.
Because once again, like if J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards, well, yeah, I don't know.
Gavin was asking why they would bring him in if he's not something different. Like, I'm not saying they're the exact same prospect, but they have very similar abilities. And if anything, Charbonnet is the better receiver, which is why I believe he will have the receiving work if either of them do. But from what I understand, Charbonnet was the best player on their board, and that's why they made the pick. They didn't say he was gonna like be this awesome complimentary back to Kin. He was the best player on our board.
I feel like a lot of people that's exactly what happened with Jahmyr Gibbs. Why was that such a big deal? Like, why did they know? Well, best player on the board, you drive best player available, then not like a project, then trade out of it, get capital somewhere else, and maybe that's something that they didn't want to do. If he didn't like this draft, maybe something in 2024. Like, why add on top of what's already strong? And I feel like, which once again is not wrong, But
You could have taken Zach Evans in the 5th or the 6th. You could have taken, you know, enter running back Evan Hull in the 5th. You could have taken Eric Gray in the 5th or the 6th. Abani Konda in the 5th or the 6th. Dwayne McBride in the 7th. You know, with the other guy that you actually drafted in the 7th round, Kenny McIntosh would have been a great complimentary piece. But yeah, apparently it was the best player.
Yeah.
Best player.
And it
on the
makes
board,
sense because, like, you know, we're frustrated in a fantasy perspective.
they don't care about.
Yeah, but
fantasy.
they don't care about fantasy. But
Yeah. Guys, we have done 5 mock drafts today. That's got to be it. I don't think we can do any more.
Yeah.
We got some content we need to record for you. But I would be, you know, it wouldn't be a stream if I wasn't going to plug Flock Fantasy. So if you do want our rankings, which we'll update, I'm actually going to update them today because I have some new thoughts.
yeah,
If you want our rankings, if you want articles, Mason looks like he already dropped an article about ADP for Dynasty rookie drafts. Use our code LAND, LAND, when signing up at flockfantasy.com. I put a direct link in the chat. Make sure you use our code LAND. You'll get 30% off your membership. And if you choose the Mother Flocker tier, we will grade your Dynasty team on a live stream. We will also set up a DM where you can ask us questions. You'll get access to be in our Dynasty trade show and a bunch of other things as well, including unlocking the entire Discord, which is the largest fantasy football Discord on the planet. So DM us when you sign up. We'd be happy to get you all set up and answer any questions that you have over on the Discord. But all right, so I think that's it. Mighty Booch is saying sign up, it's legit. Appreciate that endorsement. I don't think there's anything else. I mean, I guess I could say, we haven't said this in quite some time. You can drop us a follow on Twitter if you want. We post some interesting things and some thoughts, and sometimes they're stupid, and most of the time I would say they're good little nuggets there from us. So you can follow us on Twitter if you have yet to do so. Put both mine and Badake's Twitter in there. And lastly, if you have yet to watch our top 24 to 26 rankings video that we dropped this morning, it got a ton of love, a ton of support. Go do that if you want to keep watching some of our content. And expect a sleepers video, rookie sleepers video in your morning. Make sure you show the same love to that as you did these rookie rankings.
that's right.
And that is it for today, unless you have anything you want to say, Badake.
Nah, huge love. Like and subscribe. If you guys are lurkers here and you're still with us, 189 people liking or watching, subscribe. Show some love. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right, guys. Have a good night.